Hey Quinn, comment on week three. Three assignments. The first was about system change. You talked about the reducing bullying um, through a particular program. Um, I appreciate the passion and obviously something you've thought about and got a lot of experience of. Um, and it was, it was a good post. I would have been intrigued a bit more about the actual mechanisms by which the tries to reduce bullying. What is it that's happening with the bullies or with the victims or whatever that's actually bringing about the change, and what are the in a way, how do you actually how do you get the program implemented as well? I mean, are you trying to persuade people just through this is the right thing to do, um, which is a hard. To be honest, that's quite a it's a difficult sell. That uh, typically you kind of want to hang on about how it may bring about some benefits and be clear about what those benefits are, rather than simply it's the right thing to do. Though that may be the initial motivator. Anyway, the the second one was about the presentation to the police. Um, you talked about the need, for, to have a survey, to have a look at the explore the commonalities between the police and gang members, then training and assessing the training, and then some kind of way of facilitating communication. An interesting, an interesting mix, and I thought an interesting idea that there are commonalities that they may have in terms of sense of loyalty to groups and security and safety in their group. So that I can see that commonality. Then it kind of breaks down, though, or it seems to me. Then how do you actually maintain that? Because um, there may be a sense of commonality around that, but then there's actually a lot of disagreements about the other side, about other things as well. Then that sort of might be perceived as enemies. So I'm not quite sure. I couldn't quite see how you get from they both sense themselves as they may have both sort of similar needs, but they're actually in some ways they see each other as enemies. So how would you actually deal with that through this trauma program? I wasn't quite sold on this. I didn't think it presented theoretically a kind of a good case or empirically a strong enough case. So I'm going to take down on that. And then whether you could actually continue, how you would continue the programs, right? Because there are some obvious problems, which is if these are active gang members, they might be involved in illegal activity, and then how does then you have a risk of like police colluding with um, with alleged criminals. So unless you are thinking, and maybe you're thinking about people who are at risk of being in gangs and trying to sort of prevent them from becoming further embedded in gangs, improve the relationships with police. I don't know about that. You might be interested. I mean, on this issue, there's a report that if you go to if you Google um, was it New Philanthropy Capital um, um, street chants. Sorry, I don't think of the right name. It was a program for at-risk youth involving cricket in inner city areas, and that was trying to um, involve the police in the program. And that was maybe the sort of thing you were thinking in terms of that last component, trying to find ways of bringing police and gang members together, or potential gang members together. Anyway, we did a report on that. It's published on New Philanthropy Capital's website. We did the evaluation of that. If you're interested. Anyway, but I didn't think quite hung together. I think there are a lot of questions unanswered, so I'm going to take you down a few points for that. The on your assignment about Montessori school and your before and after care program, it was fine. It was fine. It was as I said in previous posts. I think I kind of sense it was sort of a minimum. You sort of answer the questions. The logic model, really what I wanted to see was a logic model laid out, or a theory of change laid out, not you talked about the three steps that are involved about defining goals, developing the theory, and then validating logic. And really I'm thinking, well, actually, what is your theory of change laid out? And maybe it's quite a simple one, which is the goal is to extend the school day. You know, put in programs to extend the school day. Kids stay there, but there are a couple of things behind that I was interested in, that I thought you could have talked about more, which was one, the goal about extending the school day. So, who's interested in extending the school day and why? Are you, in fact, meeting the needs of those parents, right? Are they so? Is it the people who wanted the longer school day? Are they the ones actually using it? Two other schools you said are only using a half day. I was kind of curious as to, well, why is that? Is that because of different needs in the area, or is it because that they've found that they don't have the resources, there isn't the demand for it? So I was kind of curious about that, about why is this universally a good idea or not? So I think so kind of a bit more detail about why pick this program and do this rather than do something else. You know, I think we can scour the community and we can say there are lots and lots of needs out there. The question is, how do you meet those and what do you prioritize and why? Um, that that's kind of the tricky bit, not identifying the needs in one sense, so that can be difficult. So that's really what I'm looking for more, a bit more depth in all your all. Hope that helps. All right. Have a good week. Bye.